Welcome to Toolcraft TV, and we are doing jigsaws for July. So we're going to start with the entry level, professional and expert. And speaking of experts, we've got Warren September here, who is our tool expert here at BPM Toolcraft. And Warren is going to take us through the differences on the jigsaws and why you should get them for what purposes, and
Yes.
so on and so forth and
Yes.
so on.
Okay, so we'll actually do a bit of description on your the way that the machines are made. As Gina actually said, entry-level machines versus the professional machines as well.
Okay, cool. So these are the three we're going to feature. Why did you want to show those two?
Basically, just to show the difference in construction on the two machines, and also the most important thing on a jigsaw is actually your pendulum action as well. Not most important, but important. And just to show you, we will eventually be showing you the difference between using a machine without pendulum action and cutting with pendulum action as well.
Okay.
Basically just the two machines, and this is by no means actually showing that one machine is better than the other. It's just to show you how the machines are constructed. So your sort of entry-level industrial and home duty machines are made a little bit differently. You've got two plastic halves held together by screws on the one side of the machine only. Okay, same with as the Bosch and the Makita, and the same with all the other ranges as well. But the important thing on these machines over here is your pendulum action. Now what pendulum action does is, without pendulum action, all the blades actually doing is just moving straight up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means that you have to push the machine forwards with force to actually get it to cut.
Yeah.
And especially in a thicker piece of wood, you'll actually see that you're laboring a bit too much.
Okay.
With pendulum action, what it actually happens is that the blade tilts forward, cuts up, turns back, plunges down, and then pendulums forward again.
Oh, okay.
It's like cutting a bread at
Oh,
an angle. Yes.
Getting
Much
through it,
quicker.
so you don't have to put too much
Pressure on there, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll notice that this machine over here, plunger, roller, but nothing on the side over here. Okay. On this machine, again, plunger, roller, but that's your pendulum action. This goes from 0, 1, 2, or 3, and the more you increase that pendulum action, the faster. Yes, the more pendulums, the faster it's actually going to cut. Just a note. Generally on cutting steel, you'll actually make sure that you either use 0 or 1 maximum. Sorry, I've just gone over. Or 1 maximum. Yeah, because if the more you pendulum with steel, the more steel it cuts, and that can actually break your blade on the machine, or the teeth on the blade. Features on the different machines over here as well. They basically all generally have the same thing. As I said, you've got your clamp over there that actually holds it, your blade in place. This specific Makita machine still has a screw that you have to tighten to hold your blade, whereas most of the other machines, the Bosch does that as well. But when you're actually looking at these machines over here,
It's all freehand.
it's all freehand. On the INL, you have to push in to push the blade out. Push in.
Not like the Bosch's one, you just turn it.
Yes.
Just a quick turn. Out.
And then you have the Festool.
It does the work for you.
Yes, which basically what you do is on the side over here, there's a little lever button that you push, and when you push, the blade comes out automatically.
So those ones you spoke about the housing. So what's the difference between that housing and this housing?
These machines, again, as I said, two plastic halves held together by a whole lot of screws at the one side.
Yeah.
So everything is housed in a plastic housing.
Okay.
Whereas these machines over here, you'll notice that this is aluminium.
Yeah.
The gearbox inside, although this is plastic over here, it's actually just aluminium that's covered by plastic.
So it's basically that holds everything together. That's a case.
Yes,
essentially.
it's a complete case.
And this is just a cover.
This is just a cover, yes.
Okay.
For the gearbox section, it's a cover, but the housing at the back of it that holds the motor in place, that's still plastic. But this is where your most important part is on the machine. And all three of these, most of your industrial or professional tools will have an aluminium case on the inside. Okay.
Let's get to the cutting.
The cutting on the machine. Okay, right.
So now we are going to do the cuts. We are going to be using the entry level, professional, and expert, and we're going to see the differences. But to be fair on all three tools, we are going to use one blade. All right, Warren, are we ready?
Yes, we're ready. So basically, just to show you how the blade actually fits in with these over here, there's no spanners to be used. All you basically need to do is insert your blade into the groove, push, and that locks the blade in place. Okay. Now we can actually start the cutting over here.
And what kind of wood is this?
This is yellow wood that I've actually had for the past 20 odd years.
Okay, so this is very dry.
Very
and
dry,
very hard
yes,
wood.
very hard wood.
So it's a good thing to test all of them.
Machines, and you can actually then see the differences between the cuts and how the machines actually perform. Which
Okay.
one performs better. So let's go here again. We will start the sitting at 0, which is actually no pendulum action. Okay, and while I'm cutting, I will change that, and you'll see the difference. You'll also notice that the difference when using pendulum action and non-pendulum action. With no pendulum action, it's harder to cut, but there's a much cleaner cut over here. As soon as I started using pendulum action, the wood actually became chipped at the top over there. So you're actually splintering the wood much easier. The faster you're cutting, the less clean the cut will actually be.
Okay, cool. So with no pendulum action, you're going to get a much more accurate.
With no pendulum action, the blade can actually tend to curve a little bit more. It's just that the top of the cut is going to be much cleaner. But
Okay.
with pendulum action, the higher your pendulum action is, the worse that cut actually becomes over there. You can see
So
actually from 1 to 3 over
So
here.
it goes from cutting
Straight, yes.
to hacking.
Yes, basically,
Okay.
yeah.
So just change the blades. What do you do? You just pull. There you go. No mess, no fuss.
Wash the jigsaw. Wash again over here. All we're basically doing is taking the blade, popping that in, pushing down, and it actually locks in place. Just as I showed, to remove it, you have to push the lever and pull out. Quite easy to actually take it out. So again, here we don't have to touch anything. Plunge in, and that will automatically lock itself over there. So cutting with a wash jigsaw. Again, we'll make sure that it's on 0, which is no pendulum action, and obviously at that stage over there, pendulum 3, which would be the faster cut. Much quieter sound than the previous machine.
Because it's a professional.
Professional machine for that. No pendulum action being used, and put it to 1. Very faster. Cut that much easier through. Again, they're showing that with pendulum action, you're cutting much faster through a thick piece of wood. Okay, again, cleaner cut, and as I got to the end, it actually cut a little bit more rougher, and that's purely because of the stage 3 that I've actually had. Cool.
Let's check for straightness. Okay,
Not too bad with straightness over there.
That's not bad at all.
Okay, with the freestyle machine, what's nice about this over here is the lever that you have to switch on, you push, and then it's holding in place. You can change the speed. It's off. Okay. The Festool also comes with one extra feature, is that when you switch the machine on, it runs at a slower speed as soon as you apply pressure.
Okay.
Then the machine actually picks up speed. Okay, you'll notice that we'll actually hear it now when we actually do the cut. Before we actually cut the table, let's just clamp. And again here, I'm going to start at no pendulum action. Switch the machine on, full speed. Running slowly. Just notice the sound, just hear the sound on the machine.
And that is the expert level. That was quick.
Yeah.
Wow, it stayed straight.
Okay. The Festool machine will be able to actually cut straighter than the other machines, purely because, let me just remove the blade quickly. Blade on the Festool machine pops out quite easily.
That's quite helpful when the blade is too hard.
That's correct. You don't want to touch something where you've actually cut a meter. What's nice over here with the Festool blade, you'll notice that they've got two, your normal machines, you can hold it upside down, please. Your normal machines has a roller that moves from side to side. So when the blade actually fits in there, the blade actually fits in that roll over there, and there's movement from side to side. So as you're doing a curved cut, the blade will actually bend. Festal on the other hand has two tungsten tip pieces. That blade fits in between the two tungsten pieces. So therefore your blade is actually held much straighter. It can only move after the tungsten tip pieces. There, as the blade goes up or down, it can move from side from side to side. Hence the cut that you get with the Festal machine is actually much straighter. The advantage that Festal actually has as well is that you do get thicker blades, so that the actual body of the blade, there and there, the Festal is actually much thicker. The thicker your blade is, the straighter the cut that you're actually going to get. These blades we've tried and they don't quite easily fit into the Bosch or the iron machine.
So there you have it. There are some of the differences you can see between the entry level, professional and expert. So come and check it out in store, 93 Victoria Road, Plumstead, or toolcraft.co.za, and we're having a sale on jigsaws as well as jigsaw blades or anything related to the jigsaws. So from myself and Warren, cheers.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching.